Hello and thank you for watching my video. My name is Astrid Krasniqi. I'm Cisco CCNA, CCNP and Palo Alto certified instructor. In this video we are covering PC and SA 210 and this is our chapter 6 URL filtering. Now this is the fourth video of chapter 6 which is 6.4 lab URL filtering. So everything that we learned in our chapter 6 we're just going to try and put it on this lab. On this lab we're going to create a security policy rule with a custom URL category. Well, we already have a security policy rule, but I'm going to edit that and I'm going to create a custom URL category from scratch and I'm going to add it to the security policy rule. We're going to configure an external dynamic list to point to the, because we already have a dynamic list on our server which is located in the demilitarized zone. We're going to configure for our firewall to access that list. And we're going to bring that list into our security policy rule. And we're going to create a security policy rule with URL filtering profile. And as we go, we're going to check the log entries. So this is the lab topology that we'll be using to demonstrate URL filtering for you. We have we have already a security policy rule that allows the inside zone users to access at the outside zone. But what we're going to do is we're going to edit that, but I'm going to clone that actually, and I'm going to create a custom URL rule. So custom URL rule that will say if you're trying to access some news sites, for example, we are not going to allow the traffic, right? And we're going to bring that sites into our firewall. Then we have already a list here in the Ubuntu server. I have a list of websites which users shouldn't be accessing. And we're going to create an external dynamic list which our firewall is going to check it from Ubuntu server and is going to make sure that it's updating all those lists of not allowed websites. Okay, so if I go to the firewall and I'll show you there's two places you can actually configure URL filtering, right? So you can go to the security policy rule and apply it directly on the security policy rule. So for example, I'll select this into out and it has already a URL category and you can apply it here. You can add all URLs here. But this will become part of security policy rule. Or if you already created a profile, then you can add it to the profile setting. But that will be added only after the action is set to allow. So I can add a profile and then in profile types, I can put URL filtering here. Right, I'll show you both methods on this demonstration. So the first thing is we're going to create an object, custom URL category object, right? So I'll go to objects and we have a custom objects and you have URL category here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a news site that users shouldn't be accessing. I already have that in my, just created here, notepad. So I created some news sites that maybe users shouldn't be accessing. And I'm going to import that into my custom URL category. So I go to my firewall and click add. And in here, I'm going to just give it a name. So Astrid custom URL category or cat category. Then in the production, obviously you write the description. The type could be a category match, for example, like if I can add different categories, they already downloaded, or I can put a URL list. Now URL list, you can add them one by one, or you can just import them. You could write in the notepad, maybe you can download different URLs and you can just import them here. So I'll say import and I'm going to browse. It's located on the desktop, news sites. Click OK. Now these sites, and we're going to set it in our security policy that users they shouldn't be accessing. So I click OK here and I go to my policies and on this policy into out, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually clone this policy and I'm going to put the clone on the top of it, which is not going to allow those sites. So clone this before the rule And on the clone, I'm going to edit the name. So I'm just going to put custom URL, for example. And on the URL category tab, I'm going to add the one that I just created, my custom URL category, which is this one here. And on the action, I'm going to say on this, I'm going to reset both the client and the server. Click OK, OK here. And then I'm going to commit it, and then we're going to go and test it. Okay, now the commit has completed successfully. We can go and check it, and everything that we do is going to appear under the monitor, logs, and URL filtering. So here, let me just refresh. There shouldn't be anything there. Okay, so now to test it, I'm going to go to my client machine, which is in my inside zone PC. So if I show you the lab, this is allowed to go to the outside zone, and we just created a new security policy rule that it will deny on the news sites. So, and open a web browser, and the first, I'm going to go and check bbc.com, for example. So I'll put www.bbc.com, and it says, okay, this web page has been blocked, and that's my IP address, URL is blocking, and the category is blocking it. I can check other websites, for example, Fox News, and that's going to be the same. And I can check the other ones as well. For example, MSNBC, for example, msnbc.com. Whatever we put there, it's going to be blocked. Okay, so now I can go to my firewall, and under the monitor, log, URL filtering. I'll refresh that, and I should have some kind of like a log messages. Here we go. The category, asterisk custom URL category. This is the list. The new site is being blocked. Okay, that demonstrates for you to create custom category and apply it into security policy rule. The next thing is I'm going to create an external dynamic list. Well, we already have an external list, and that's located on the demilitarized zone server. So I have all these, for example, a Lifehacker, AVS forum, and I created astrid.com as well. I can create anything you want in there. So for example, to edit that file, I can just go to the file name is vblock.list -list.text, and I can just insert new domain. Let me just put, for example, astrid.local as well. Okay, so if I do again, cat block.list -list, and now we have all those websites. So what we're going to do is we're going to call, this is an external list hosted on my demilitarized zone server. So I'm going to call, my firewall is going to call this list, but we have to configure an external dynamic list first, which is under the object, and external dynamic list is here. And we already have a dynamic IP list, but we're going to create our own one, which is, I'll click add here, and I'm going to call it Astrid external DL for dynamic list. And this is a URL list, and the IP address of the server, if I look in the topology, is 192.168.50.10, so that's the IP address, 192.168.50.10, and it's called block list text, right? So we can check that on my demilitarized zone server. So block list.text. Okay, and we're going to check this list every 5 minutes and click OK. Now that we have OK there, we need to configure a service root configuration. So to do that, we go to device and setup, then then services, then service root configuration. And in here, we have to customize that for external list. Instead of using the management interface, we're going to use the interface 1.3, which is the interface. So if you look at the topology, that's the interface actually going to communicate with the Ubuntu server. And click OK. OK again. Now that we have configured service root configuration and we configured external dynamic list under the object, we need to apply this into our security policy rule, which I'll go to policies, select the security, and then say into out again, custom URL. And under the URL categories, I'll put it here. So I'll add, and you can see the external dynamic list is there as well. So I'll click OK. And I'll leave action to reset both the client and server. So anything under the external list will be reset both the client and server. And you can see on the external list is here, this one here. Okay. And I click OK and I commit this. And then we'll go and test it. Okay, now the commit has completed successfully. We can go and test it, and anything will appear under the monitor, logs, and URL filtering. So if I go to my client inside machine, and I'll open a new site, new page, and I'll type avsforum.com, and you can see this is blocked now, but it's from * external DL. The ones before that was from the custom URL, and this is from external DL. And we can do other ones. So for example, lifehacker.com, this is blocked as well. Anything that appears on that list here, where did I have it? Here. I can go to the monitor, logs, and URL filtering, and you can see that everything that we did so far, for example, AVS Forum, Lifehacker, everything is being now reset for both. So we're blocking the URL. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a URL filtering profile, and then we're going to apply that URL filtering profile, but in the policies. So if I go to objects and I create a under security profile, we have a URL filtering profile. We have a default one. We can create our new from scratch, but the best one is to actually clone the default and then edit the clone. So clone the default, and then I'll go to change the name. So I'll call * clone default. URL profile, and you can see that already the custom URL is there as well, and we can put the external dynamic list there as well, or we can have our own one. So for example, let's just say on the custom URL, for this I want to do continue, and user credential submission continue, and for this I want to override a block for user credential. Now for continue, the user has to press continue to access the next site, and for override, the user needs to know the password or administrator password. So I'll click the OK here, and we're gonna go and create an administrator password for that override option. So to do that, I'll need to go to device, and then under the setup, content ID, and then you see I have a URL admin override. So I'll click add, and I'll put a password here. Now if users know this password, they can access the website, or whatever the website has been denied. Okay, let me just fix the password. Palo Alto. Okay. And as you can see, there's two modes. You can have a transparent or redirect. Redirect, you can put the IP address of a website that you want a page to appear, or transparent, it looks like it's appearing from the whatever site you're trying to access. And the next thing is URL filtering, the times. So You can see the timeout for dynamic cached, how many hours, the timeout for continue. So if for somebody press continue once, they don't need to press it again. Everything else will be continued. So let me put this to reduce into a minute. Override option. So once you put a password once, how many times you need to put the password if you go to a different website. Click 1. And then if the timeout lockout time for admin lockout, for example, the wrong password, how many? And if we have a different internal web server, database server, click OK. And okay, so I'm gonna apply these on our policies. So the policy that I created, the custom URL, this I'm gonna disable, and I'm gonna apply filtering profile in the normal in to out. So let me put this above, and I'll apply that in there. And this will be applied under, no here, URL category, but it will be applied under the action. And after the allowed traffic, we apply the profile settings, which is profiles, and then URL filtering is here. Okay. Now I'm gonna commit that, and then we can go and check it. Okay, now the committed has completed successfully, we can go and check it. And as you can see here, it shows that we are applying URL filtering profile. Now, the idea is the new sites, these ones, you should have continue option. And the sites that are located here, like for example, AVS Forum and so on, AVS Forum and Lifehacker and so on, they should be able to have the continue with an override password, right? Okay, so new sites, continue, AVS Forum with a password. Let's just go and check it. So I'll refresh this. See, now I have a continue option. I can press continue, and now I can access it. If I press continue here, now these sites will do continue, but they will automatically for a minute. I don't need to press continue again. They will just work. It's like I press continue. There you see. And same for this as well. If I wait 1 minute, I'm gonna have to press continue again. This site, see, this one is working now. All these are working. This site, AVS Forum, we should have the password, not continue. So if I refresh this, now it says your connection is not private. Advance in there, proceed to that website, and now you can see it says you need to put the password to continue. And if I do, I will be able to access that. And the password was Palo, the administrator password, Alto, and continue. And now for the other websites, for example, Lifehacker and so on, if I refresh this, this is just gonna automatically for a minute, I change the timer, yeah, for 1 minute, it's gonna just continue for me. And okay, so I can go there to check the log, so monitor, logs, URL filtering, and then I'll update. Well, it's updating now. You can see the Lifehacker AVS Forum, for example, it's override. We had and this one block, override, and continue. For example, for a news, and we had to press continue for BBC and so on, Fox News and so on. That was a demonstrating for you to configure URL filtering through security profiles. Thank you for watching lesson 6.4, lab URL filtering. This is of chapter 6, URL filtering. Please have a look at my other videos and don't forget to subscribe. This has been Astrid Krasniqi. Bye bye.